the house since you haven't been here forever.
I know.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I am good. I'm great. You know, just hanging out. I haven't done much. Maybe I have. I don't know. But you've been gone for like a whole month.
It was a wild ride. I was very, very ready to get home. I'm pretty sure my mom was ready for us to leave too.
Yeah, probably. Well, no. My parents, I'm sure that sometimes they want me to leave. And then like the next day after I'm gone, they're like, are you going to come back? When are you coming back? And I'm like, okay, you had like one break from me and now you want me to come back, but you're going to hate me in 2 days. So
yeah. No, I mean, it was a really great trip overall. Like we didn't have any knockdown dragouts. Like it was so much fun. It was a little bit harder this time because we went for the same amount of time that we went last year. And except for the boys came with Jerry and I in the beginning because we had an engagement party to go to, all of us. And so it was just a little harder to get back to reality because we were all off for like 5 days. And then the boys left and then it was like, oh, okay, I guess, Jerry and I will sit at the kitchen table and, work from home now. So it was definitely interesting always. And it was last year too, working at the kitchen table together. So don't recommend.
Don't recommend working at the kitchen table?
No.
Or just like together with somebody?
No. I mean, she and I, like we would go somewhere else if we needed to or whatever. Like in the beginning when we got there, it was hot as fire outside. My mom was like, pack your warm clothes. So I had like one like short sleeve shirt for wearing. And then I mainly had long sleeves and sweaters and I didn't bring any sandals. Jerry brought her Birkenstocks. And so she was like good to go. And I mean, it wasn't too hot, but I mean, it was warm enough to not need long sleeves or sweaters and shit like that. And I was fairly miserable in the beginning because it was so hot and we don't have central air.
Oh, they don't have central. Oh
No.
my God.
No,
I don't know how to live like that.
They have baseboard heat from like the furnace. So there's like old, like, I don't even know if they're steel or what type of metal they are, but, built in to the wall. So it's not like a standalone furnace. It's all along, like right above the baseboards, runs along there. And that's what heats the house. But there's no ductwork for central forced air or heat.
So do they have like any type of air conditioning?
No.
They don't have any like window units?
They have one window unit in the living room. We did turn it on one time because Jerry and I were just so hot. But my mom had already taken hers out of her bedroom.
Do they have fans or something?
I mean, I had we had a tower fan in there, and Brandon and I were super hot like the first couple nights. And then I rigged up this tower fan like on top of a nightstand essentially. So it would, because I mean, a tower fan's not going to do shit when your bed is like 3 feet off the ground. Like, what is that going to do? It's just going to blow onto the ground. Or into the wall. And so then I had Mitch go down to the basement and get my old like window fan, that can stick in a window. And I mean, it did get cool enough at night to blow in some cold air, but it sure as shit wasn't air conditioning.
So how do you keep your house from like getting mildew and mold and stuff in it if you don't have like central air?
They have a dehumidifier in the basement.
That's it. I mean, I guess it just doesn't get humid up there?
No, not the same as here. Definitely not. Okay.
I always thought that you had to like have that or something to circulate the air so that you don't.
Well, I mean, they've got screen doors and stuff. And so, I mean, we do a porch screen door and a screen door on the front door too. So we leave both those open a lot just to get some airflow.
Oh, wow. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever been in a house like that before. Maybe I have.
Let me just tell you, I will never be going there in the middle of the summer. I wouldn't survive.
Yeah, well, how hot does it get?
I mean, when we were there, it was in the 80s, like low 80s.
Yeah, that's really hot.
And that was in the end of September, beginning of October.
Do they have, when you go to like work and stuff, do you have air conditioning?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, I guess maybe that, like, I would not want to work from home
if I had to. Like, my grandmother had central air.
Right.
At her house. But the house my mom bought just didn't.
Yeah.
Growing up in the summer, I slept in the basement a lot because it was just much cooler down there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So what else did y'all do?
After we got up there, we did an Airbnb not far, like 45 minutes from the house. And I think it's on the Racket River. And so, it was really nice, like almost like a cabin type situation on the water. And we stayed there for 2 nights and had a lot of fun. It was hysterical. We got up there and, I'm trying to think I think the first night that we were there, we cooked steaks and stuff. That or else, I don't know what we did. Maybe we didn't.
I need some good stories. So tell me about the fingers game or
I'll
whatever.
Get there.
Okay.
I'll get there. Jerry and I did jump in the lake, and nobody knew we were going to do it. And I mean, the water was cold. It was real cold. But we had gone to this place called Racket River Brewing, which is like probably 45 minutes from where we were staying in Tupper Lake, New York. And they've got like 3 different food trucks there and all kind of beer and cider, but they have mixed drinks and stuff too. But they've got a great indoor-outdoor space. And so we all hung out up there for like a good while on Friday during the day. But when we came back, we were all kind of just doing our own thing, winding down, from that. And Jerry had brought part of her pizza home from one of the food trucks up there. And so she was sitting out by the dock. And so I went and sat with her and I was like, do you want to jump in? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, well, we need to wait for Mom to get out here. So then we were like, Dawn, will you take some pictures of me and Jer? And so we went to the end of the dock and she was taking some pictures. And finally we turned around and she was like, well, why do you want it behind the picture? And Jer's like, we're going to jump up in the air and we want you to get that picture or whatever. So then she started recording and like, because she doesn't know how to do like a boomerang or anything like that. So she just started recording. And Jerry and I told Jerry, I said, if you make me jump in this water by myself, I'm going to kill you. And she was like, that's some shit you would do, not me. But we both went in and we got a really cool picture of us, like from a still from my mom's video or whatever. But you can hear my mom. She goes, "Oh, you're jumping in. I didn't know you were jumping."
It's so funny.
And then I looked like a beach whale trying to get up out of there because we had real clothes on. I had jeans on and the ladder like wasn't super long, so I'm trying to like hike a fucking leg up there to like
to get it in, but your legs like, well, first of all, your clothes are heavy,
yes.
But then you've got jeans, so it's like stiff legs, like heavy legs, yeah.
But that was funny. And the fingers game, so that happened like a while after, but we play this game called Left, Right, Center, and all it is 3 dice, and the dice have either dots on them, L's, R's, or C's. And so you just start with 3 quarters.
Where do you get the dice for this? Does it come?
It's
do you buy this?
Game. Yeah,
okay. And it's called what?
Left, Right, Center.
Okay.
And it's really fun. And so then you put like a bowl in the middle of the table because C is center and we call it church or whatever. So like if you roll a C, however many C's you roll, you put into, the center bowl or whatever.
Right.
And then if you roll an L or an R, you send your quarter right, left. But if you roll dots, you get to keep your coins.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's just say in your first roll, you roll an R, you give that away. The next time you're only going to roll 2 die. You roll the die equivalent to the number of quarters that you have. And just because you lose your quarters doesn't mean that your time is up, because other people can still left or right hand quarters to you. So you could be out for several rounds and then all of a sudden have 3 quarters again. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the very last person to have quarters left that haven't gone to the center wins. So we were playing with some of our neighbors and her kids. And
wait, so you don't want your quarters to go to the center?
No.
Oh,
you want to keep your quarters because then you win everything in the center.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So we're playing with some of our neighbors or whatever, and Jerry learned this game at Auburn called Fingers.
Yeah.
And do you know what it is?
Yeah, I played it. Yeah.
Okay. So
that's why I was like, oh, y'all are playing Fingers.
Yes. Yeah. And so she has taught, everybody knows it now because she's taught all of them, her time spending time with them or whatever. And so we played that, and it was if you win at Left, Right, Center, you don't have to participate in Fingers.
Oh.
Yeah.
You don't have to, but would you want to?
She doesn't.
Oh, she doesn't?
No. Playing? We were drinking everything from maple bourbon to cider to
in the
vodka
Fingers
mules,
cup?
Yeah, to Chardonnay to...
Wait, so did y'all mix drinks and put them in the cup in the middle? Or
we had one cup in the middle,
like a shot?
You pour a little bit... No, you pour a little bit of your drink in there, so it was a... mixed drink. Mixed
Oh,
drink.
we didn't do it like that.
Oh,
it
we
was
did
more
the
like
very
a
first-
shot, or like we poured
Oh.
put like a whole drink, like not
No.
something nasty.
Oh,
yeah.
no. The very first time that
So it's like a suicide alcoholic beverage.
Yes, 100%.
That's disgusting.
The
Yeah,
very
I don't
first
wanna play
time
that.
Jerry had me play that at Auburn, there were like 12 of us. It was terrible, and I lost, and I thought I was going to puke.
How many times did you lose,
college
though?
beer. At that time, once I figured it out, I was pretty much okay. I only lost once with her then. When we were up there, it is so hard to get her and my mom. So hard.
Really?
And Mitch is one of those dingle-dongs that'll, be in there, and there'll be, 2 or 3 people left or whatever, and he'll go 1, 2, 3, none, and leave his finger. So it's just funny to play.
Yeah, that's fun. Well, I'm glad you guys had fun. What else? Did you go leaf peeping?
When we went up to Racket River, like the drive up there is nice, and I would say the place that we stayed at, in Higley was really nice too. And you could see open water, and they did have a rowboat, and Thomas and Jerry went out, but the leaves looked really nice from there. I got some really good sunset pictures there.
Did Brandon enjoy it?
I think he had fun. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. He had fun.
How long was he there?
We flew up on a Wednesday, and he and Thomas drove down to Syracuse to fly out the following Tuesday. So almost a whole week.
Yeah.
But that Saturday, we had an engagement party to go to for my friend David Parker, and
how did that go?
it was so good.
Any funny stories from any of this stuff?
Well, yeah, Jess, his fiance. So she and I had never met face to face. So that was like our first time meeting. We, text almost daily, but we hadn't met before. So he told us to be there 2 hours before everybody else. Well, come to find out, the reason why we needed to be there no longer existed, but nobody told me that, so I didn't have to be there at 5 o'clock. Could have been there at 7. So when we show up at 5, she's still there, not dressed, still finishing decorating and whatever, has to go home and get dressed and all that. So she comes later, which, it was fun. Brandon and I caught up, with his parents and, met her family and whatever. But she doesn't drink very often, rarely, twice a year, New Year's and maybe some other celebration. This girl was doing shots of her favorite thing ever, which is Jaeger.
Disgusting.
And it was so funny because I was sitting at a
crazy.
table.
And if you don't drink a lot, taking shots,
I know
Jaeger?
it's such a random thing to really love and choose to drink, when you don't drink very often. But it was funny. So my mom and them get there because they came, at the 7 o'clock time. My mom was like, I didn't get to come in here without taking a Jaeger shot with Jess. And I'm like, Dawn's going to feel good later.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I would not. I'd be like, no, we can't do that.
But they had this, Canadian, dance and song thing that they did or whatever. And it wasn't the Canadian national anthem or anything like that. I don't really know what it was, but it was fun to see, that because I have no idea about Canadian traditions and things like that. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it was neat.
That's my favorite kind of thing. I've always wanted to have get married to an Indian man so that I can have an Indian wedding because I can't just have an Indian wedding when I'm not Indian.
It was cute, and her family was so stinking nice, and it was good to catch up with some other folks that were there. So it was a good time. Cool. And then life kind of went back to normal after that. Really, the boys went home and we worked, and it was real bad weather, right after the guys left for days, just raining. It did cool off, which was nice. But we couldn't really go outside and do anything. So that following weekend, Auburn was off. We had a bye week. And so I didn't really care about watching football. I wanted to go do something. Well, we're all amped up. We're trying to figure out what we're going to do. There was some kind of fall festival in another town that was probably about 45 minutes to an hour away or whatever. And they were going to have food trucks and bands and all these vendors, but it was raining. And I was like, I don't have a raincoat. I don't want to go stand out in the rain. We ended up watching football all day long.
Well, that's always fun.
Yeah. We had a great time.
Well, at least y'all got some rain. I guess we did. We kind of got some rain for a hot minute here.
It was raining the day that I came back, that I flew back. It was rainy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, it was fun. We had a great time. Brandon's I saw one of my neighbors, Laura, and she was like, Brandon says y'all are moving up there. And I was like, don't listen to him. He would be bored in 4 months.
He would be born?
Bored.
Oh, bored.
Yeah. I mean,
why would he be bored?
It gets old quick a little bit, especially if it's not something that you're used to. Like, I mean, we're used to bebopping around to all of our different friends' houses or whatever, and being able to go to a million different restaurants or bars or breweries or whatever, and we just don't have that.
Oh, well, but I mean, I feel like he would probably go with you anywhere as long as you're there.
Oh, I think so too.
Yeah.
But I'm not going up there. I miss.
So you would be bored.
Yeah, I would be bored for sure. I mean, well, because like David and I are close, like very close, but I know that we wouldn't. I don't know that we would hang out all the time. Maybe we would because of Jess, but like, I don't know. I don't think that's for me. Like, I can work from anywhere. I think I would be more worried about Brandon being unhappy, you know, trying to find a job in a much smaller market up there and, you know, not being happy with it and just going to go.
Right. Yeah. Well,
so,
I mean, Birmingham's better anyways. I've never been there, but I'm just biased.
It's a beautiful, so highly recommend to anybody listening, upstate New York. And I don't mean like central New York. I mean like the North Country, New York, Adirondack Mountains, Canton, New York, Tupper Lake, New York, Potsdam, New York. Go look at it. It's a lot of cows, a lot of Amish. They have the best cheese curds in the whole entire world.
Yeah.
But it's a great place for like a fall trip for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll need to go next year.
Yeah. I got to go back for Dave's wedding. So
when is that?
I don't know that they have a date specifically yet, but I think they're shooting for September.
Fun.
Yeah.
All right. So do you, if without, I mean, if you don't have anything else on that topic,
I think the only other story that I want to tell, this is the only other story. I put it on my Snapchat story the other day. But my 33-year-old sister did not know that you have to add water to condensed soup.
Yeah.
And that was the craziest thing.
So has she been, that's what I was wondering. Has she been eating that for her whole life?
Seawater chicken noodle soup, yes.
Interesting. So was it just for like the regular chicken noodle soup that it didn't look like chicken noodle soup. It looked like the big noodles or something.
Well, she had crackers in there.
Oh, that was crackers.
Yeah.
Oh.
But Campbell's chicken noodle soup, condensed chicken noodle soup with no water.
I mean, it kind of sounds better. Sometimes I feel like, you know, the bowls that I have to, when I make Campbell's chicken noodle soup, you have to like put it in like a big pot bowl. Or like a deep, huge bowl. And then I'm like, I've got too much. Like, I want you to make it with like one serving.
The best part of it was, and that was the best part. She was like, I always wondered why it only made one serving.
Yeah, that's so funny.
But that was one of the funniest things that happened the whole time that we were there. And it was just her and I home by ourselves working.
Yeah. Well, you know, next time, did she end up like
she added a little bit of water?
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess she could have like heated up some water or something and then put it in there so it's not like making it cold.
The best part about it though is that I got a couple of responses on Snapchat to be like, yeah, my so-and-so who is this age also did not know this.
It says it on the can.
So the best part was that I didn't pay attention to what she was doing. And so I went back into the garbage to find the can to make sure that it was condensed soup. So I wasn't misleading her because, you know, the Progresso soup, you don't have to do that. Like, you just pour it out of the can and you eat it. And so I went and digging through the trash to find the can and be like, Jerry, it's literally right here.
I even, like, after all of these years of preparing my own Campbell soup or any type of soup or anything, I still, like, macaroni and cheese. I know exactly how to make macaroni and cheese. I know exactly how much to put in there. I still read the box.
100%.
I don't know why. And because what if they changed it?
Yeah.
But, like, there's some people that they're not direction readers. And they just are like, oh, let me just do this and like whatever.
Well, I mean, she just went with it because that's how she's been doing it her whole life. And I don't even know what made me ask her about it either. But I was just like, what the fuck is going on in that bowl right there?
Yeah, that's so funny. Wow. All right, so I have an FMK for us.
Okay.
This is going to be for Halloween costumes.
All right.
Since Halloween is coming up, happy Halloween. So these are just generic Halloween costumes.
Okay.
Cat, a witch, or a ghost.
I am going to kill the ghost because it's just kind of boring.
Okay.
Like, I don't want to wear a sheet over my head with some eyeballs cut out. Like, I don't want to do that.
Oh my God. Can I just stop you really quick? Because this morning, was it this morning that I forgot about this? I saw this thing and it was like a sweatshirt that said Ghost Malone. And it was like a sheet with like tattoo things over the eyes. And it was hilarious. And I was like, can Brandon please be this for, like, I was like, somebody needs to be this. What about Brandon for Halloween? Ghost Malone. It would be so easy.
I know.
It's hilarious. But yeah, anyways, that's what reminded me of that. Sorry.
No, so I'm going to kill the ghost because I think it's just a little bit boring. I'm probably going to fuck the witch because even though I love Hocus Pocus, and Jerry and I watched it for probably the millionth time while we were home, you know, most witches for Halloween, the costumes are pretty generic. And I don't know. I love
all of these are very generic.
I know. But like, I still think I'm going to fuck a witch and I'm going to marry a cat. And I'm not even like really a cat person. Like, I like your cat and Melanie's cat and like Rose's cats. But like, in general, I'm not a cat person. But a cat, you can make a cat look sexy. And I like
you
that.
can make a witch look sexy
I
and a
guess.
ghost.
I don't know. I like cat ears better than
Sexy
I like
ghost.
a witch hat. I want to know what your sexy ghost looks like. Can
Ghost
you please
Malone
tell me?
and
Ghost Malone is not sexy. The sweatshirt is not sexy. Tell me how.
well, you don't wear it. Why would you wear
sexy.
a sweatshirt? You're not wearing a sweatshirt. You wear like
a sheet with tattoos on it.
Well, that would be for Ghost Malone. For Ghost Malone, yes. But like you could make it. Yes, bet you can make it look sexy.
All right. Well, why don't you do that?
I already have my Halloween costume.
Are you still recycling?
Recycling.
Yeah. Wearing an old one?
No, I'm gonna be the Princess Diana Beanie Baby.
Oh, okay. Yes, I do recall.
We talked about this, but I'm pretty
Yes.
sure she was texting her buddies in Canada during that time. So yeah, I'm gonna be the Princess Diana Beanie Baby. So I have that, and I've already like made it and everything.
Nice.
Yeah, it's ready to go.
Cool.
Well, sort of ready to go, but yeah, you know. So what are you gonna be? Still Barbie?
I don't know if I'm doing anything.
Oh my God.
But I do. I mean, I have my dress to be weird Barbie. I just haven't decided. I just feel like I've been going 9,000 miles an hour, and I'm just ready to not have a task to do on a weekend.
Well, it's not a task. It's a fun thing to go hang out and then leave and eat candy and
I don't know.
eat food and stuff.
I got to amp myself up for it.
Okay, well, it'll be fun, and that's sad if you don't go, but you know, nothing I can do about it. So if you do go though, what are you going to be? I thought you were like
Barbie.
Okay. Do you have did the dress come?
Yeah, I just said that.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that.
And you want to know what's hilarious? I actually got a second damn dress in the mail that I'm trying to sell on Marketplace. So if anybody is looking for a long sleeve, knee length with a little bit of a slit, pink sequin dress from Torrid, please go look for it on Marketplace because I'm ready to offload it.
That's funny. Well, so I would marry the witch, fuck the cat. Actually, fuck the cat and kill the ghost because I have a witch's hat and it's like the best witch's hat ever. It's like,
see, I have good cat ears.
And so, but a cat, you could be a witch and a cat in the same day. Like all you have to do is just wear a black outfit.
Yeah.
And like a witch, you can be like in a dress.
Yeah.
A black dress, or you could be in black pants and a shirt. I mean,
one of
like
the
whatever.
cutest things I got for Halloween, that like work wise, anyways, that I wore to work when I was working in Cleveland, was this headband that had black glitter bat ear wings on it, and it was so cute.
I was a bat
it.
for Halloween. Like I don't know how many years ago it was, but I went to like Stephanie. I don't know where all I went, but I have a picture of it, and I made my own bat wings, and they like connected to my hands. So when I moved my hands out, they like opened up. And, like it was really hard to make, and I wish I still had it, but I think it like got lost or something or like messed up. But yeah, it was so cute. Yeah, the
You're
bat
good
outfit.
at homemade costumes. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't call myself good at it. I like to think, I don't know. I like to do the homemade stuff. I don't like to like buy the outfits.
No, I don't either.
Yeah.
I like to put random stuff together. Like,
Yeah.
I agree. I haven't bought a like full-fledged, like all the pieces costume in like probably 10 years.
I don't think I've ever, I bought that corn outfit last year, but that was just like one thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I've ever bought like, those sexy outfits. I've never
I
wanted
bought
to be
one.
like a sexy anything
Oh, I
for
was
Halloween.
a sheriff and I hated it because
And I'm
I
like-
wore heels with it and I was miserable. I went to the B&A warehouse party and I was good to go after like 30 minutes. I mean, I stayed much longer than that, but I'm pretty sure I didn't have shoes on when I left there.
Ew. Yeah, that's not fun. Okay, so breaking news.
Yeah.
Joran Vandersloot confessed to killing Natalee Holloway. If you guys don't know what this is, you are probably born before
2005.
Yeah. Or less or earlier than that. Later than that.
Yeah.
Because, anyways, Natalee Holloway is from Birmingham, from Mountain Brook, Alabama, which is right around the corner from us.
Yep.
And she was kidnapped, essentially, or she went missing, is what I would say.
On their senior trip
On their
to
senior
Aruba.
Yes, in 2005. And we were both juniors in high school.
Yep.
I remember going, so when I was in school, like at UAB, I remember going to volunteer at some certain place, like the Ronald McDonald House, I think, maybe. I don't know where exactly I was, where we went volunteering, and they had pictures of her on the wall because she used to volunteer there. It was just terrible. Like, so sad.
Even years later, I came down here the summer after my freshman year of college and worked at my neighbor's OBGYN office at Brookwood. So, even cutting through, Mountain Brook sometimes to go home or whatever, 2 years later, there were still yellow ribbons on people's mailboxes in support of her. Yeah. Because for so long, there were no questions answered. Yeah. I mean, it's a terrible thing. And it's like 18 years later, and they finally have gotten a confession. So apparently this confession was like, so he was on trial, I guess, or he was here in Birmingham for extortion and wire fraud. Yep.
And with the plea deal, he agreed to confess to Natalee's, her murder. Right. And so
he's already in prison, right?
So I think I believe he's been in prison, and I don't know exactly where he is, but he killed that other girl in 2008.
2010.
2010. Yeah. So Peru, because it's like Peruvian. They've been kind of like sharing him. Yeah. Like back and forth with all this stuff.
He's been in Jefferson County Jail since he's been here waiting for this trial to happen. Idea, yeah. He's been in, local county jail.
In the jail? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I don't know much, but my thing, like I sent Sarah this thing earlier, and this, not trying to joke about this because it's not funny, but he wasn't even cute. Like, that sucks so bad. And apparently he like made passes at her, and she was like, no, I'm not going to have this. And he was like, well, screw you, and just like murdered her.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he got his feelings hurt because, I mean, comes from a rich family. I'm sure he got what he wanted most of his life, and
then he kicked her and killed her, and then smashed her face in with a cinder block. Like, what?
I mean,
that is wild.
And then I saw something where he was like, I'm not the same person that I was. How can you say that?
And he's given his life to Jesus Christ.
Right. How can you say that when 5 years after the first time, you did it again? Right. You're a shit human. Right. Like, you suck. Right. And then you still are trying to extort money and it was only like, I say only, I mean, it was $250,000, I think.
That was a lot. That's a lot.
I know.
But
I know.
Yeah.
But like, it wasn't like millions, but also you come from a rich family. So what are you doing?
Well, like, yeah, I don't know. These people,
everything is never enough for some people.
Well, that, and I guess sometimes people don't live. I don't know. I'm making this up, and I may or may not be right about this, but I believe potentially that a lot of times people with lots of means, like lots of money, they have means to get a lawyer, to get all these things, and they just grow up thinking, oh, I'll get out of this. Like, oh, if I get a DUI, it's kind of like going back to like the Up and Vanish podcast, which I love.
Me too.
They, the guy that essentially like got convicted of murdering her or whatnot. There are two guys. One of them, he came from a very wealthy family.
Right.
The other one was not so well off.
Yeah.
But the other guy, he just was like, would get like a DUI and just like, not like, no consequences. Yeah. Let me just let my dad take care of this. Right. And I just feel like that happens, and it's not really cool. Like my mom and dad, we were not very well off like that. Right. But even if they were, my mom would have been like, she's always told me when I was younger, she was like, if you get a DUI, do not call me.
Right.
She's like, don't get it.
Yeah.
I will not come get you.
I mean, it's the same sort of thing with Alec Murdaugh case and you
Right.
know his son Paul.
Yes.
It's the same thing. Like you can, if you've watched the documentary, you can see after the accident happens and there's like dash cams and body cams from the police that showed up after the boating accident. Paul was acting nonchalant about it. Like just like nothing happened. Like they didn't get, you know, tossed out of a boat and we're missing one of the people that they, you know, was in the boat with them. Like it was just so, and one of the very first things he said is, "Can I call my dad?"
Yeah. And a lot of times people, they have this like, oh, well, if anything goes wrong, my dad's going to fix it or my mom and dad are going to fix it
Right.
or whoever's going to fix it.
And it
Uncle
takes
Joe.
something like that, somebody dying,
Well, but sometimes
to
that
have
doesn't
them
even,
not fix it.
yeah. Well, that, and it's like, I grew up thinking if anything bad happened, nobody's fixing it.
Right.
And I'm going to be screwed. I'm not going to jail. Like, I don't have this. And like right now, if I were to have to, like, if something were to happen, if I got a DUI or something like that, I don't have the money to pay for a lawyer like that, you know?
Right.
Like that. I mean, it's crazy, ridiculous to pay to get out of that. So it's like, I mean, I would probably eventually be able to pay for the stuff, but like, it's
Right.
expensive.
Right. You don't have $25,000 to drop on a retainer for an excellent lawyer.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, when people, the more money you have, the more money, more problems.
I was literally going to say that. I'm so glad you did. It couldn't get out of my mouth fast enough.
But, and you know, it's not just like more money, more problem, but I don't know. It makes me sick thinking about it. Cause if you think back that when we were, that was when we were juniors in high school,
Yep.
when she went missing, and that like I went to Cancun for my senior trip. And I just remember everybody was like, oh my God, what's, you know, and that I think, and I don't know for sure, but like, I think that is probably the time of my life when I realized, oh, bad things happen to pretty young girls, and like I could get taken or I could get murdered or I could get whatever. So don't get in the car with a stranger, that kind of thing. And, you know, honestly, it's hearing that story has helped a lot of people try to be more safe.
Oh, for
and
sure.
especially going to different countries and things like that. And I hate it.
Yeah.
Sad that we have to use that as an example, but like, you know, I'm sure Natalie's mom and dad would be like really happy to hear that, you know, that has helped
Right.
people stay safe and
For
not for it to not happen.
Yeah. And to be more vigilant of their surroundings and aware and maybe
Right.
drink less on a trip like that so they don't get put in a situation.
Watch
or
your
be aware,
drink so you don't
that's
get
what I was gonna say.
roofied.
Be aware of, you know, your drinks and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, it's super scary. I think that in high school, a lot of the times we think that we're invincible. And
Oh yeah, for sure.
and it's scary. I mean, I would say the realization that you kind of had with that was when I was a sophomore, this kid who had graduated the previous year passed away in a car accident. And that was one of the first times that like a peer of mine had died. And it was, I mean, gut-wrenching and makes you understand that it can happen to anybody.
Yeah. Could happen, you know, tomorrow to anybody. I mean,
Right.
it could happen right now.
Right.
So, oh man. Also, Israel is so sad.
I know.
I just want to, we don't have to get into it, but we can talk about how I've made a bug out bag. Did you see that big bag? Have I not told you about this?
What?
You're going to think I'm crazy, and everybody
no.
is. Okay. So one night,
I don't
like
even know
last
what you're
week,
saying. Bug out?
a bug out bag or a go bag or
Okay.
I'll get to.
Is that what is up at the
Yes.
landing on
so
the
there's
stairs
a big
with
duffel
the cat
bag,
carrier? So you are
the
ready.
cat carrier, and a helmet. I'm ready to grab it, and it's in the stairway landing. So
you're
if somebody
ready to
comes to the
just
front
take
door,
your
somebody comes to
shit.
the back door, I've got a way to get it real quick.
So you
Run out. It's
Get
got-
all your animals, all your shit, and
Yes.
go.
Yeah. So one day last
You're
week,
making me nervous.
after all the Israel stuff happened, and Hamas and all this. So my parents called, and I always think about this all the time anyways. And I usually have a bag, like I have a tornado prep bag that stays in a certain area. And it I have two helmets, one just in case my neighbor comes over or whatever. Helmet for the tornado, because we get tornadoes in Alabama. It has like flashlights, batteries, water bottles, just in case I get trapped inside there. It has, I don't know, just random stuff like that. And it's just a small little backpack. For that. It has an air horn. So I took all of that stuff and I was like going to use that same bag, but then I was trying to put all the other stuff that I needed in there. And so I was like, this isn't going to fit. So I wish I had a list of all the stuff in there. So there is a pair of tennis shoes with some socks. There's a little bag with a change of clothes. Like they're like some old, cause I was like, I'm not going to put like, this is probably not going to happen. Yeah. It's like a pair of like Lululemon leggings that have like a hole in the crotch. Like it's like a hole in the leg on the side. And then like a t-shirt and a sports bra and some panties just in case I need to change clothes.
Right.
There's water bottles. There's a bottle, like a water bottle that is empty that you can like take the lid off and drink water out of. There is a fire starter. Like I have a fire starter. I mean, not that I would ever need that, but there's like a couple of cans of what did I put in there? No, there's a
Campbell's condensed soup.
No, I put in refried beans because they have like protein and all that stuff in there. So refried, and then there's cans of dog food. There's some like dry dog food, some cat food. Mostly it's dog stuff. I also have their the dogs life jackets in there. All 3 of them in there,
my God.
just in case we gotta like. I don't know. I'm not gonna say hop in the creek. Yes. So that. I have a bunch of ammo. So like I have a bunch of like, that's
heavy.
There's
How
multiple.
heavy is that thing?
It's a very heavy. You should pick it up when you go out.
You need to get like a backpack pack.
So I can't because the backpack I was going to wear a backpack.
Yeah.
But Birdie goes in a backpack on my back and I'm not leaving his ass. I'm sorry. He's getting in that thing and we going. I need to get him a life jacket.
You need to teach him how to walk on a leash.
I tried when I got him as a kitty and he hated it. He was like, no. He's like, no. So I tried really hard. Didn't work out for me, but I might try again.
I would.
Now that he's old, he hated me. So what else is in there? I'm just like, I don't know. I've just got, batteries, extra batteries. I mean, like just the essentials. It seems like there's a lot, but it's mostly like ammunition just in case I got to pow some people. I'm sorry. Like, look, I believe in gun control 100%. I think that there are certain things that need to possibly change, like, because it is way too easy to go buy a gun.
I agree.
And I'm not going to get into all that, but I do believe that we should have the right to bear arms. So I apologize for if anybody disagrees with that, we can have a conversation and you can maybe change my mind, but maybe I'll enlighten you on why I think that. I also don't think that you should be able to have a gun if you don't know how to use it. I think that everybody should know how to use a gun, how to at least unload one just in case somebody else has it. So anyway, off that soapbox. So I have my bug out bag and my parents and we tried to make us like a plan of where we're going to meet, because I've thought about this before and I'm like, if something were to happen, like I'm here by myself and like Daniel and Eric have families and my mom and dad, I know that they would help me, but like there may not be as well equipped to like help me. But I'm like, would somebody come get me? Like, what would I be? I would be here like what if I was like, I don't know, what would you do? And my parents were like, we would come. Yes, of course we would come get you. Wow. My mom was like freaking out. And so we've had this whole plan. We were like setting up meeting spots. And I'm like, okay, but we have to decide where to meet in case something happens here. Like if something happens in Birmingham, are we going to meet outside of Birmingham? If something happens in Huntsville.
Well, because it would be hard for you to, if like, let's just be hypothetical and say something happened downtown. It'd be hard for you to get past downtown to get to them.
Right.
And same for them to you.
Yeah, there's just a lot of like scenarios. You can't just be like, oh, here's our meeting spot in this spot, because like, what if this doesn't happen? And you know, if you wait so many days and you don't hear from me, maybe that, you know, that's when it's time to like go to our meeting spot.
This is wild that you've had this conversation.
I know. Like I told Allison about it and she was kind of like listening to me and I was like, I know I sound like a crazy person, but I mean, I sound like a crazy person, but in my opinion, it is better to be so, because Robin, I sent my sister-in-law and my brother, I was like, are y'all ready with y'all's bug out bags? Like I do. And I sent him a picture, I think, of my bag. And I was just kind of like, haha, I made this bag just in case. And she was like, don't be scared. They're just trying to like incite fear in people. And like, but my thing is maybe they are just trying to make everybody scared, but I would rather be a little bit scared now than not prepared if something were to happen.
You're scaring me now.
Am I scaring you?
Yeah,
oh my God.
bit.
I'm not trying to scare anybody. I just think that it's a little bit better to be prepared. Like, be prepared, like, because something bad could happen. I think like those first few days after, like, and last Friday when they were saying that there was going to be a day of jihad.
Oh, I know.
I was like,
Jerry and I were nervous because we were flying on Saturday.
Yeah, I had my gun strapped to me all day. I was like, I'm scared that it's something bad's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes me sick that we even have to think about it.
Yeah.
You know?
It is sad. It's very sad. But anyways, that has happened. I'm trying to think of what else. I went to a haunted house last weekend.
How was that?
It was
Where'd you go?
expensive. It was called Warehouse 31.
Okay.
They had karaoke. So we waited like an hour. You have to wait like an hour to get in. They have like drinks and stuff. I didn't get any drinks or anything. But then they had karaoke while you wait. And so people could like,
sing?
I didn't, but like other people did. There were some people that were there that were actually really good. Like,
cool.
Yeah. So, but you sit in this big room. I'm surprised I don't have COVID yet because you sit in this huge room with like all these people. I mean, there's doors are open and there's like air coming in and out, but like it's a lot of people sitting next to each other. You could, there were like little kids there at like midnight. We didn't go in until like 1 maybe.
When they used to have the Sloss one, we paid and waited, and I mean for hours and hours and hours, like probably 3 hours, because they had like beer vendors and stuff like that, and we tried to wait it out, and finally we were like, screw this, we're not waiting any longer.
So I looked it up after we left because there were so many people there, and it cost $35 or 30 something dollars, like about $35 to go through this thing. I was like, these people are making bank because they really essentially only have to buy all this stuff like once or like maybe like get a couple of extra things here and there every year. But like most of the stuff, they'll just like keep it and reuse it.
Oh yeah.
And they are making bank. And if you look it up, like, and they only have to work like 2 months out of the year, like, holy moly.
At my old job, there were a handful of people that used to participate, and they were characters at Atrox. And I mean, they would just do it after work, and they loved it. And
that's weird. I don't know if I could, like, the people that we went really late, and we were like one of the last groups to go. And I was like, I think these people are getting tired because like some of them would just be like, they wouldn't say anything. They would just following us. And I was
sure it takes
I think they're tired.
Out of you. I mean, you're doing the same repetitive stuff for the most part for hours.
Yeah. Well, the first one, you go through 2 different sections, and the first thing you go through is like a 3D thing, and they give you like 3D glasses.
Ew, I would hate that.
And I took the glasses off because I was like, because you walk through this thing, and you go over this like rickety bridge that's like steel or metal or something, and you're going through it, and there's this big thing around you that's circling, and it's got like splatters of paint and like random stuff, and it's like you got this 3, and I'm like gonna vomit. I haven't even been drinking or eating. I was like, I had stopped drinking, and I was like, oh, I'm getting sick. This is so dizzy, and I like took the glasses off. But anyway, so we walked in that thing, and so Santana was in front of me. Santana goes in, and I wasn't even in there yet. And like at first I was like, oh, I got to hold on to somebody because I was the only one that like didn't have like a husband or a boyfriend like to hold on to. I mean, there was DJ's dad was there, so I could have like done that. That would have been weird. So, but I was like gonna hold on to Santana. But Santana walked ahead of me because she was trying to get with Aaron, and this person the scary person jumps out and scares her, and she falls down and like knocks into the wall. It was hilarious. But it was like the first room that we walked into too. It was so funny, and I was like, oh my God, we all died laughing. And then, so we go through that one, and then it gets to the point. So it was like Santana, and I was like holding onto her like boobs because I was holding under her armpits, and I was like holding her boobs from the back, like the side boob. It was like this, and because she's so little, like my hands were big, and I like
grabbed the back.
I was like holding underneath her arm. I know, but she had a sweater on. I didn't want to like stretch it out, and I was like, I was trying to hold her, and I was like hugging her, and then Rose was like hugging me, and it was just like we had like this hug train going through the whole time, and we're like baby stepping. Well, then, so you go through that first one, and it got really dark, and Aaron like left, and it was pitch dark. And this last one, and then all of a sudden, this like, you hear this like a horn, and this truck thing like runs, and it like moves, and it's like gonna squish you against this wall or whatever. And it's like, oh, we're like, oh shoot, oh my God. So that's when I like remember I was like grabbing Santana. I was like, oh my God. No, I reached in front of Santana and I grabbed Aaron, and I was like, help. So that happened, and then we went through that. That one, to me, wasn't as scary, but I guess it was, I don't know. We all were like, it wasn't as scary, or that one was more scary. I don't know. It wasn't as scary at first, but now that I think about it, it was kind of more scary because I think I was like not ready for it.
No.
The second one we went through smelled like they had like, it was like zombies and stuff.
Blech.
And it had like, they had like dead bodies on the thing and people like jumping up on there, eating the zombies,
Gross.
eating the dead bodies. And it smelled like dead bodies in there. It
Ew.
smelled like dead bodies and cat pee.
Gross.
And so we went through that one, and then we kept hearing chainsaws, and Santana kept being like, "Oh, listen, I can hear the chainsaws. I can hear this." And I was like, it's okay, just keep going. She had her eyes closed, and she was in front of me.
Oh, God.
Erin was like way above in front of her, and she was in front of me, and she had her eyes closed, and I was like directing her because I was like, "Go this way."
You can see over her head for sure.
Yes, I was like, "Go this way." And so at one point there was this scary person, and Rose would be like, "Oh my god," freaking out this person, and I feel like the more scared you are, the more they mess with you. And this one dude was following Rose for like 5 minutes in the thing. And he was like standing behind her. And I looked back and I was like, Rose, that dude is still following you.
No, I
and she was like,
that.
oh my God.
When Jerry and I went through Atrox years ago, and that's the only time that I've been through there. And I mean, it was like a good one, but there was only 3 of us. And so, we needed a bigger group than that. So we're following these other people that we don't know, never seen them before in our lives. But all I knew is the guy in front of me had a light gray waffle shirt on. And so all I did was like put my hand out enough to where I could feel the waffle and just followed him because I couldn't like grab onto him or anything.
Like, why is somebody catching me?
But I like made sure that I was like, hello, I'm not scared to, the people that were probably.
Right. I would just like laugh at them.
Yes. Because if you act scared, they go keep going.
They do.
I went to a crazy one time years ago. Mine and Jessica's friend Tanner, I went with her and this other couple, and I mean we were in our early 20s, and we went to Six Flags for the day, and then we went to this haunted house.
Wait, so Jessica went to it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. No, it was just the 4 of us, so me and Tanner and then this other couple.
Oh, okay.
And we went to Six Flags, then we went to this place, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's in like this rug warehouse. It's huge, like so big. It's one of the coolest ones that I've ever been to. But it took forever to get through there. And then the second one was like an obstacle course type haunted house. And I was like, this is fucking bullshit.
Do you have to like climb over stuff?
Climb over stuff and climb in like in things like on your hands and knees, like crawling.
We had to like go underneath little things. And
I don't like that.
Santana at one point was standing up straight all the way to the top, and we all had to duck like this. And she was just like, "I'm just good." Yeah, no,
I can't remember what the name of it is, and it's in like maybe Douglasville area outside of downtown Atlanta. But it was a really good haunted house.
Yeah. So the scariest part for me was when the chainsaws came, and Santana was so scared of the chainsaws. The first one came and she booked it, and she left me, and I was like grabbing her. I was like, no, and I'm like standing there with nobody in front of me, and I'm like, no. And so I start taking off running, but then I have people holding on to me, and I'm like, oh God. So I'm running.
Yeah, hurry up, Rose.
And I knew, I was like, Santana, if you run, you're not going to have anybody with you, and there's somebody on the next one coming to get you. She starts running back at me. Started running back, and I was like, I knew it. And then so that happened like twice, and then like the last one, it was like somebody had a chainsaw, and she ran out the door, and it was the last thing, and she was like, "Fling by."
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was scary.
I don't like being scared. Brandon has been harassing me here lately every time like we go to, pick something to watch on TV or whatever, and Netflix, Hulu, and he'll be like, "Oh, look at all the scary things that I don't get to watch."
Well, watch it by yourself,
you won't
Brandon.
watch. And that's what I told him. I was like,
Wednesday.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Hopefully, Brandon, you're at home watching a scary movie by yourself right now.
There you go. So yeah,
leave me out of that shit.
It was DJ's birthday, like not a lot. It was like 2 weeks ago, and he wanted us to go the weekend before or whatever, but like everybody got sick because we were all hungover we went to see, not last Friday, but the Friday before, we went to see Green Sky Bluegrass at Avondale.
Y'all did that last year, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, no. So DJ and Rose and my older brother Eric went to that last year.
Okay.
But
I thought Santana went. Y'all did the flower crowns last
that
year,
was
right?
we did that for the Mason Music Festival for the Brook and the Bluff.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So but I made flower crowns for us this time, and we got so many compliments. Like
They were cute.
like fresh flower crowns for our Greens Sky Bluegrass thing. So we went to that, and guess who we ran into? Pete.
Oh, did you? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Y'all took a picture together, right? Or a snap or something?
I don't know, probably.
I thought you did because I thought that's who that was, but I wasn't even going to open that can of worms.
Well, so we're all hanging out like in the crowd, and then all of a sudden DJ and Aaron come running back, and they're like, Pete's here, Pete's here, Pete's here. Can he? And I was like, tell him to come over. Like, why are y'all being weird? And DJ was like, so wanted like Pete to come over. He like loves Pete, I guess, or he always is trying to hook me up. He's like, is that guy, like, is that somebody you like, is that a boo man? And I'm like, that kind of thing. So, so anyways, that was fun. He ended up showing up, and he was in his full overalls, and he had this like cut off black jean, I'm assuming it's jean, vest with like patches on the back. Like he looked like a farmer that rides motorcycles.
Well, did he ride his bike there?
Oh, I don't think so. No, he rode his car because he got me some Tums out of his car. But he has gotten a haircut.
He has.
And he has a mullet now.
No, he does not.
Yes, but it's like a faux mullet. It's like, okay, so he goes like this.
Uh-huh.
His hair, it's like he has like a bob with his hair now. And then when he goes like this, it's like shaved on the sides to where he can push it back, and it's a mullet. Oh my God, it's terrible. I was like, Pete, no. He loves it though. He's like, yeah, it looks so cool. And I'm like, no, it's so bad.
I haven't seen it. I guess he hasn't displayed it on the Snapchats yet.
I guess not. But yeah, so we saw that. That was fun. Trying to think what else happened. I don't know. Anyways, let's see what's next on the agenda. Okay, so we have a little bit of time left, and I kind of wanted to talk. I don't know what we were having a conversation about. We're talking about something, and energy vampires came up. And I was like, that's such a good, we were talking about it with Jessica. I don't even know what it was about. And I was like, that's such a good topic for the podcast. Let's talk about it.
Absolutely.
And, like energy vampires reminds me of, have you ever seen What We Do in the Shadows?
No.
Oh my God, you have
It
to watch
sounds
it.
scary.
It's not scary. It's like The Office for vampires. It's like a, what do they call it? It's like a mockumentary, I think is what they're called. And it's like vampires, and people are following around vampires to like document them, I guess, like documentary of vampires,
Okay.
but it's like funny. And so there's one guy on there, his name's Colin Robinson, I think. And he's an energy vampire. So he's like this like white dude, and he dresses in a sweater vest or like a sweater with like a tie. And he's like, he's like I guess they call him a psychic vampire or an energy vampire, but he like basically sucks the life out of you. That's how he stays alive, is by sucking your energy away. But that just makes me think about that. So I think about it sometimes because energy vampires, what does an energy vampire mean to you?
To me, I mean, I would say for the most part, I find it more applicable like in the workplace and things like that. And it's just somebody who is going to micromanage you or waste your time or kill the fun and just be a giant pain in the ass, and they make you just not have energy to complete your tasks.
That's a good thought too. I never even really thought about that.
The only time I've ever really talked about it was at work, and I had a director one time who wanted us to like read this whole book on it or whatever, and so I did, and then we never talked about it. You want to talk about energy vampire? You wasted my fucking time asking me to read that book, and then you're not even going to talk to us about it as a leadership group?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like chronic complainers, negative Nancy's, and people like that. So, but okay. So sometimes I think I'm wondering, am I an energy vampire? And do I do it sometimes? Because I know like I complain to people about stuff sometimes. So, but then I started like Googling it, and I'm like,
I don't think that's the same thing. Venting to your friends is not the same thing as you would be an energy vampire if you went to sit at Black Market by yourself, found a random, and complained to them.
oh, yeah,
You know what I
that's real
mean?
messed up. Yeah. Yeah, but also, I mean, I guess you can be in, like, if you venting, there's a difference between venting and like dumping,
Sure.
I guess.
Well, and I also think that energy vampires within like maybe your friend group is somebody who complains all the time or whatever, or it's always something with them, but then they don't want to listen to like what you have going on, or they don't ask you about yourself and what you have going on and that sort of thing.
And then you feel drained after the conversation,
and you haven't had a chance to get anything off your chest or talk about yourself, and
they want attention constantly, and it's all about them.
Yes.
So like they show up and it's like, oh, this conversation's all about me, all about me, all about me. It has nothing to do with you. And then if you try to turn it to you, it turns back to them.
Yeah. Even if it's something as simple as like storytelling or whatever, like there's always a story, and that's the most important thing, that's happening in that moment with that group or whatever. And it's like, it's not always about you.
Yes. And so like, just making sure you know the difference between venting and dumping, because like, I guess venting would be like, I don't know. So according to the internets of the world, venting versus dumping stuff, like venting would be like, okay, I'm going to talk about this, but like, I'm talking about this because I'm trying to like understand the issue, understand the problem, and like, and solve the problem.
Yeah.
Dumping would be like, just like coming in just to get
with a list.
Or just to get like the attention on you, or to pull, it's just really that. And I don't know, I feel like sometimes the energy vampires that I have are like the people that constantly make me feel like I'm either like walking on eggshells, because if I say something weird, I'm like, or you can't talk to somebody about something because they're gonna like, you can't bring up a conversation, a certain topic of conversation, because that person's gonna like twist it and turn it into like this terrible thing.
Yeah. Even if you don't mean it in a negative way or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know.
I think that, and this is going to sound kind of weird, but hear me out on this. I think that there are absolutely energy vampires, even like in our TV shows and stuff, like character, whether it be reality or characters on a TV show. There are some characters that you're just like, ugh, I'm ready for them to be gone. I don't like their character, the role that they're playing, whatever. It just is
like on Love is Blind.
Well, they're not.
Who would be our
characters.
energy vampire on there?
Stacy. Stacy, I don't know how to blend my makeup, whatever her last name is.
Speaking of Love is Blind, we'll have to get to that in a different episode. But sorry guys, Sarah's been out of town, so we haven't done Love is Blind yet.
No, but we are going to do it because we have a lot to say.
Yes, so much. Yeah, so who else can you give me another example of like an energy vampire from a TV show?
God, you're putting me on the spot. I'm trying to think of like a character that like people like don't like just globally didn't like type situation. I would say more on like maybe a Grey's Anatomy type scenario or whatever. Like I think it would be safe to say, and obviously there's some people that may disagree with me, but I'm going back to like the OG cast, but like Christina Yang was an energy vampire. She was only worried about herself being the best cardiothoracic surgeon ever. I mean, I liked her humor. Like I thought it was funny, but like it was always something with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she was always just trying to get to the top and be better and whatever. And I think her friends probably could have used a little bit more emotional support from her, but
I feel like that character would think that everyone else was an energy vampire from her, because she was like, no emotion. Let's just do this. Let's just do this. And she would probably think that.
But in a way that I mean, still could be an energy vampire, because you're not giving anything that other people are giving to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's just an off the cuff example.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to think of anybody else.
It's just one of those things, like, when you watch a series or whatever and there's some character that just exhausts you.
Yes.
Yes. That's what I mean.
And I'm trying to think of any characters, like any shows that I'm actually watching right now. What am I even watching?
I mean,
Love is Blind
example,
is over.
Game of Thrones, Joffrey, energy vampire.
Jeez.
Cersei, energy vampire.
Oh, they're the worst.
Right? Like,
It's
it was draining to watch them on that show sometime because it was just like you're emotionally involved in it, but you're also like, God bless America. Like, can they just go away? But then without them, there would be no drama.
When it's like so there's also like energy, like trying to protect your energy. So like if you have energy vampires and maybe they're sucking the life out of you, maybe they're pumping in bad energy to you as well, instead of like sucking the energy out of you.
I mean, I think it's one of, like, when you go through good episodes of things, like, they can pump you up or whatever. But then when you go through bad episodes, like, there's been times where I'm, like, watching some sort of TV show and I'm like, I have to watch something different that's more positive. I just can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I need a break.
Exactly. And, you know, you get around somebody like, and I feel like I'm guilty of probably being a Debbie Downer sometimes. And I think that everybody may agree that they're also.
Why do you say that?
Well, I don't know. I complain about things for work a lot. And I feel like people are probably like, oh my God, she's always complaining about stuff. But it's not always, I mean, yes, for work. Yeah. But I just feel like everybody may at some point in their life have to vent and like do stuff like that and be like a Debbie Downer at some point. But like,
I mean, this season and like place that you're in work wise or whatever is not going to be here forever. So in order to get through it, you need your people and you need to be able to say whatever you want to say about it to get through it.
Well, but I wouldn't, maybe I am, but I wouldn't call myself an energy vampire. I am heightened. I have a heightened awareness for the things that might make me an energy vampire because I don't want to be that. And I know that, you know, if I were to like continue just like being negative and like, I don't want to be that. You know what I mean?
I mean, so it's like, definitely acknowledge like if you're going through one of those days where you're like firing off texts because you're fired up about something or whatever, like you fully acknowledge during that conversation, I know this is a lot, you know, whatever.
Sometimes I'll be like, don't even listen. Don't even read these. Yes. I'm just going to send them. You don't have to read them if you don't want to. Because I'm like, somebody has to, it has to come out of me somehow.
Yes.
You know, and it's like, people are like, write a journal. I'm like, that takes too long. I don't know where the pen and paper is.
Let me use my two thumbs to type off 37 messages in the time I could write one page.
Right. And then it's like gone and you're like, oh, yay, I feel much better now.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
They should. I wonder if there's a company that has like a like just random like text number that you could text to vent to without getting answers or something, just to get shit off your chest.
Surely they have like those like therapy people that you can like text too that would actually give you a response.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I wouldn't text like a random number. I would be
I don't mean but you know what I'm saying? Like 25555 and you know.
And it just goes
into the abyss somewhere.
Yeah. That's like, wasn't there a movie or something that I was watching the other day where the girl like was texting her dead husband or boyfriend?
Is it the one with Priyanka Chopra?
Yes. What is that called?
I haven't seen it yet, but I know what you're talking about. And it's got
Harry Styles in it, I think.
Oh, is that who's in it?
Yeah, they're both in it.
Okay, I need to watch that.
Because aren't they married?
No.
Wait, who's Priyanka?
She's married to Jonas.
Nick Jonas is in there.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he's not like a main character. He's like an idiot in there. It's really funny. So yeah, but she's like texting her dead husband and like some other dude gets the phone and it's like, yeah, it's good.
Okay.
I forgot what it's called.
I know what you're talking about, but I need to watch it. Yeah.
But see, you could like, what if somebody else gets that number? It was like they assigned it to him at work and he was like, what is this? Well, this person's texting me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, hopefully if I'm ever an energy vampire, guys, I really hope that you guys are like EV.
That's going to be your
EV
safe word to know that you're being an energy vampire.
You're being an EV. I don't know. Stop being a vampire. It's like that song. I don't know how it goes.
Come on, you haven't sang the whole episode.
I know, but I forgot how the song even goes. Like I know of the song, but I forgot of it, how it goes. Do you know what it is?
No, I have no idea.
Well, anyways,
what you're
if I think about it, I'll like record it later or something. But
yeah, there you
go. Yeah. So hopefully we won't have any energy vampires for Halloween.
Nah.
But
let the good times roll.
Yeah. What can we do? I don't know. I like to protect my energy But sometimes it is good to
Because
like.
energy is also sanity.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Yes.
It is.
It is.
And you are completely correct. And it is a sacred thing to hang on to.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I mean,
yeah.
it
And
is.
I like.
And that's why I think that was like my original response to you today about like Halloween or whatever, is because I think I need to like get through, the week or whatever and feel like back in my element. I mean, I'm still not even like fully unpacked yet. So it's been a little bit overwhelming to like come back and get back to reality and that sort of thing. So maybe I'll feel better next week.
Back to life.
Oh
back to reality.
Listen, I have slept so good in my own bed, I cannot even tell you. It has been the greatest week of sleep of my life. I've been going to bed at like 9:30.
That's nice.
It's been great.
I tried to do that the other night. And I even took a
Having
pill.
Sleepy time tea. Not even doing anything else, taking any other melatonin or whatnot.
I took a Unisom.
Yeah.
Well, there's two different types of Unisom. Or there's multiple types of Unisom. One of them lasts in your body a lot longer than the other one.
I used to take the minis.
Yeah, well, I don't know which one I took. I took the sleep tabs last night, and that is the one that lasts in your body longer than the others.
Today?
And this morning I was like, yeah, it was really, really, really bad. But I think I need to take the other one. My brother was like, oh, this one might work better for you, because the first one I was like, this is not doing anything. Should I take another one? And I'd taken 2. And then like the next day I was like, because it's an antihistamine. It was like taking like 10 Benadryl or something.
Yeah.
Not really, but it was like super dry. Like he was like, just drink a bunch of water. You'll be fine.
I used to take the Unisom minis, which I think are only 25 milligrams as opposed to the regulars that are 50, I think.
Yeah.
And they worked for a while, but then, your body builds up tolerance and stuff like that. So you just got to keep taking more.
Take more and more. Yeah.
Yeah. So I quit taking those.
Well,
Butterbean, it said, we have to go.
Butterbean, say bye. Say bye. Give a kiss. No whinies? Okay. Well, you want to tell them where to find us? Catch us on Instagram. A TKF podcast.
Is that Butterbean's voice?
Yes. Well, maybe it should be different. Maybe let me try a different one. I can't do it. I don't know. I feel like his voice would be like that.
A little boy voice?
A little boy voice. Does that sound like a little boy? Or does
Yeah.
Hello, you can catch us on Instagram at tkfpodcast@gmail.com. I mean, that's our email address. Email Emily and Sarah, and they will respond or maybe talk about you later.
Butterbean, you need to practice there, bud.
I gotta go get my diaper changed.
Oh.
Give us 5 stars. Bye.
Bye.
Bloodsucker, fame effer, bleeding me dry like a GD vampire. Dun, 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 dun. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I have to go.
I don't know why it's so good.